Hey everybody, Chief here from the OKest MTG content creator, and today I got a really special episode for us. Today I am ranking all of my commander decks, and I'm really excited about this. I've talked about almost all the decks you're about to see on the channel before, but today I'm actually going to go through the list and explain why each deck is in the spot that it is and why I like each commander for different reasons. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to mention the first three, 20, 19, and 18, are all honorable mentions because these were big decks in my rotation for a long time, but I've since taken them apart, used them for parts in other decks, but I played them so much I really wanted to bring them up because who knows, I might rebuild them one day. So first up at number 20 is Obun Moldiah Ancestor. And I like this guy a lot. He's a great landfall commander. I had a lot of fun with him for a number of years. The fact that you can use your lands as creatures and attackers, it was just so fun. And I built up the deck to be a very strong landfall deck, and it was great. But over time, I started getting a little tired of it. It played very similarly sometimes, but that's in no way saying that Obun was a bad commander. Just over time, you want to try new things, and I took it apart for another deck that I'll talk about later. And I will mention this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, so strap in because we got 20 decks to talk about. So up next, at number 19, we've got Miirym, Sentinel Wurm. And again, the only reason this guy's number 19 is because I currently have the deck taken apart. But this was an incredibly powerful dragon commander. I think the most powerful dragon commander. Just the fact that whenever another non-token dragon enters, even if it's legendary, you get a copy of it. So copy machine, BOGO, buy one get one free, dragons. Once this deck got started, it was hard to stop. It was very powerful, and I like Miirym a lot. The reason I took it apart is it just played very similarly every game. There wasn't a whole lot of thought. It's just ramp really hard, play big dragons, and repeat. So I definitely kept all the pieces for the Miirym deck because who knows, I might put it back together. It's really good. It's very powerful, but I just wanted to try other things. So that's Miirym. Everybody knows Miirym. Amazing dragon commander. At number 18, the last of our honorable mentions, we got Pantlaza Sunfavored. My favorite dinosaur commander. Just playing dinosaurs and then discovering and getting free value off of each dinosaur you play was insanely fun. I loved the randomness of playing cards off the top for free. Pantlaza and dinosaurs were very powerful as well. The flavor of dinosaurs that you can put into the deck was always a lot of fun. Again, just wanted to try other things because dinosaurs, they're kind of a, I don't want to say basic, but there's not a whole ton of thought. But again, love this commander. I'll never get rid of all the pieces because who knows, I want to play dinosaurs again one day. Next up at number 17. So now we're getting into my actual commander decks that are currently still in the boxes, still ready to play. 17, I got Kaust, Eyes of the Glade. And I bought the Disguise Precon from Murders at Karlov Manor. And the reason this one is at the very bottom of the current rotation is because it cares about face down creatures. And that's Disguise, Morph, Cloak, Manifested creatures. It's very fun. But no matter what I did, I upgraded the deck. It never felt very smooth to play. It always felt kind of clunky. Never felt powerful, and the meta that I play in my group, it just could not keep up. But I keep it because it's very unique. I don't really have another commander that can do anything close to what Kaust does. It has a lot of good things going for it. That it helps you draw cards when your face down creatures get turned face up and do combat damage. It's only a 2-mana commander, which is it's always a cool thing. And then the joy of being able to swing at somebody with a face down 2/2 and they say they're not going to block, and then you just turn Kaust sideways and flip it up and it's a 13/13 will never it'll never stop being cool. So I don't want to get rid of it because it's unique, but it is at the bottom of the list. Next up, at number 16, we've got Rocco Street Chef. And this pains me a little bit to put Rocco Solo at the bottom because I built this deck as a Christmas themed deck. It has Christmas sleeves. It gives my opponents presents in the forms of exile draws. It makes a bunch of food, and it has some group hug elements. And it's not a bad deck. It works. I built it very heavily around the playing from exile theme. The issue with it is over time it became almost an oppressive amount of triggers, even for the whole board to have to deal with, not just myself. So I play it sporadically. On occasion, I'll get the feeling I want to play it, and then most of the time it just becomes work rather than a lot of fun to play, and most of the table doesn't have as much fun with it as I do. So while it's very cool, it's very synergistic, it's still at number 16. And at number 15, we got Frodo Adventurous Hobbit, and he's partnered with Sam Loyal Attendant. I did buy the Food and Fellowship Precon, and I tried to keep the flavor of the deck pretty close to the Lord of the Rings cards as I could, as much as I could. And I like the deck, and it's fun. It sometimes just feels a little slow. Maybe I just haven't really dug into it as deep as some people. A friend of mine, Chris, plays the same commanders and has really beefed up the deck, and it's very powerful, and it can combo off and win very easily. But I opted to keep mine a little bit lower power level, and I save it for those lower power games. So I like it a lot. It's very fun, very flavorful, no pun intended because there's food. But yeah, number 15 is about where it is. But I'm definitely glad I bought it, and it's fun. So next up at number 14, we got Camball, Profiteering Mayor. And this one also pains me a little bit because I put a lot of work into the deck. It's actually got a lot of very powerful cards, including Ocelot Pride, Bloodthirsty Conqueror. It can go infinite with life gain and drain. It makes a lot of token creatures. The reason this one is so low is because the table has to keep up with everything I'm doing. I have to constantly be asking if they're making a token, at what point in their turn they're making a token. It also is another one of those decks that becomes work, and I play it less often than some other ones. And I definitely don't want to get rid of it, and it's got a lot of really cool cards in it, but I just don't play it as often as some other ones because it is such a busy, for the whole table kind of deck. So number 14, Camball. Next up at number 13, I got Felithar the Steadfast, and this is one of my two decks that care about high toughness and defenders. This was from the Tarkir Dragonstorm Precon that I bought, and I was very excited about it because I have an Arcades deck that I'll talk about later. And this one again cares about creatures with defender that can attack as though they didn't. And this one's a little different than Arcades because it lets each creature I control assign its combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, so not just defenders. And then the ability to pay 3, tap Felithar, and sack a creature and draw cards equal to the creature's toughness, and then discard equal to its power, which defenders often have 0 power. It's very cool, very fun, great card draw on a commander. The only reason it's this low is because I think my other defender deck is a little more powerful and a little more fun. But yeah, this is not a bad deck at all. I like Felithar almost every time I play it, and it's a very adequate, very strong, good deck. It's just a little lower on the list, but yeah, that's about where Felithar fell, was number 13. So we'll go to number 12. Sir Conrad the Grim, and I've talked about this guy a lot. I love Sir Conrad the Grim. It's probably my favorite mono black commander, maybe my favorite black card in the entire game of Magic. I just think he's an awesome creature who does so much with the graveyard. He can go infinite very easily, and I think that's the main reason he's so low, is because the deck plays out one of two ways. I'm always searching for my combo pieces, usually Mind Crank, Bloodchief Ascension, and just draining the table. And that's the thing. There's a lot of tutors, so it can find those pretty easily, but comboing is usually going to play out the same way most games. Either that or I just don't do much and sit there. Um, but I still love Sir Conrad. I love the deck. It's fun, and yeah, I definitely want to keep him around. Next up, number 11. Got Sithis, Harvest Hand. I still say she's the best Enchantress commander that you can play, especially for Selesnya. Just being able to cast an enchantment and gain life and draw cards. The card draw is insane. And the whole deck doesn't revolve around her. She's just a value engine for the deck. The reason it's so low is it ends up playing more like a Voltron deck, and it can only win through combat damage, which is fine with me. I like combat. And I usually have a good time playing with it. It's just every now and then you kind of go, well, I know exactly what this deck is going to do. But yeah, I think 11 is right where Sithis needs to be. Still an amazing commander. Next up, at number 10, we got Nahiri, Forged in Fury. And this is my equipment deck. And I think Nahiri is the best equipment commander, especially in Boros. For one, her affinity is going to make her always cheaper as long as you're able to get some equipments out. And then she's a little less Voltron because she wants a number of equipped creatures that you have to attack, which gives you card advantage in the form of exile draws. And then you can play those cards that turn, including lands, and you can cast equipment spells that way without paying their mana cost, which is huge. Just free spells, free equipments are great. If you pair this up with the Sigarda's Aid, you can actually, in the middle of combat, cast those equipment spells and auto-equip them to a creature that's already attacking. It's insanely fun. The only reason it's at number 10 is equipment is a little slower, a little less powerful, but I always have a good time, and it feels like a very complete equipment deck, but it's also very modular, so you can switch pieces out and try new equipments. So yeah, Nahiri, very fun. Very glad I built her. Up next, at number 9, I got Sovereign Okenek Ehu. So this is my +1/+1 counters deck, and some friends of mine could tell you I've played games with this, and if I get the right cards, it's insane how fast my board can just explode with power. I mean, my creatures can get big so quick. I have so many counter doublers and just getting so many +1/+1 counters. It's all about combat damage. It just feels like a very powerful +1/+1 deck. I have the Railway Brawler in there and Bristly Bill and a bunch of other just +1/+1 counter makers. So it feels like just a very powerful deck. Very fun. It's just +1/+1 counters is a little predictable. You know almost exactly what's going to happen most games, but I definitely like this guy. And I think more people should play him. Next up, at number 8, we got Bello, Bard of the Brambles. We've talked about this guy a lot. I think he's a very unique rule commander because he cares about, we'll say, non-attachable artifacts and enchantments, mana value 4 or greater. They're creatures on your turn. They have indestructible, haste, they can attack and do combat damage, and you draw cards. So I draw a lot of cards with Bello. The idea of using your enchantments and and artifacts as creatures for combat is really fun and unique, I feel like. The only issue and the reason he's so low is just because the deck really revolves around Bello. If you can keep him off the battlefield, the deck just doesn't do anything. So you got to protect him. And also, the curve is pretty high because everything is mana value 4 or greater for the most part. But definitely like Bello. Super glad I got him. And next up, at number 7, we got Hearthhole, the World Seed. Another Precon commander, this one from Edge of Eternities. And I like this guy a lot. I actually took apart the Obun deck, the Landfall deck, to turn it into an upgraded Hearthhole Land Sacrifice Matters deck. And there's still some Landfall synergy, but just the idea of a deck that cares about sacrificing your lands for value was very fun and appealed to me as something different. He draws you a lot of cards, and he's just a big flying vigilance hasty body once you've got him stationed to 8. And you can combo and sack all your lands and just drain the table and win, which I've done. I like Hearthhole a lot, and definitely enjoying this deck a lot. Up next, number 6, Arcades the Strategist. I talked about this in my other Defender deck. My first, I think the first from scratch Commander deck that I built around Defenders, because that intrigued me, that normally these are just big toughness bodies that can't do anything else, but Arcades turns them into a win con. He draws you a lot of cards when you play a lot of Defenders. They're cheap to cast, and I think for 4 mana, Arcades is actually really good as a 3/5 Flying and Vigilance. So yeah, I love this guy. It's a very powerful deck, and I always enjoy playing it. Next up, at number 5, got Vrondis, Rage of Ancients. So I turned my Miram deck into this guy, a Vrondis deck. Still a dragon deck, but more focused on rolling dice. Rolling dice is fun to me. It's not nearly as powerful as Miram, but I think being able to play these dice rolling cards, which to be honest, their effects are a little overcosted, but just getting that value from Vrondis, being able to roll the dice, do a damage to him, and make a 5/4 Dragon Spirit, it's just insanely fun, and it can be powerful. But yeah, I think it's a little lower powered than Miram, but I'm having so much fun with it because it just tickles my brain rolling dice, that D&D player part of my brain. And up next at number 4, we got Taval, the Balanced Scale. Yep, I got the precon from Tarkir Dragonstorm for this commander. It is just insanely good. It's insanely powerful. It's a value deck built around the graveyard. Taval just does so much. It mills you, it returns lands, so there's landfall synergies, it makes bodies for you. The whole deck is just built around playing in the graveyard and getting value from it to just overwhelm your opponents with the value you have, and it's just really fun. The only reason it's not higher is because if someone exiles my graveyard, I can't do anything. But yeah, definitely liking Taval a lot. I think a lot of people are. Up next, at number 3, we're getting to the top 3. It's Graz, Unstoppable Juggernaut. This is my colorless deck, and I didn't want to do just an Eldrazi deck. I built it around making small, low-to-the-ground creatures, a lot of token creatures, and then my commander makes them all 5/3s. They all have to attack, so there's a little bit of a built-in downside, but not really, because we like to attack here. We like combat. And I built up a pretty powerful colorless deck with some powerful cards, all of the Ugin Planeswalkers. In a colorless deck, typically you can just make a ton of mana and play with all of the unique utility lands, which often have pretty powerful effects as well. So I just always feel like there's something to do in this deck, no matter what's going on. I have something to do, and the fact that it's colorless kind of creates a bit of a puzzle on how I get to the win. But yeah, I just always have fun. It plays differently pretty much every game, which is something I can't say for every deck. So I like Graz a lot. Next, at number 2, we are getting there. Raynar the Ever Watchful. This was the second commander I bought the precon, and this is my second commander deck. Raynar is actually really good. I think he kind of gets slept on as a commander that cares about exiling and blinking. The Foretell piece is just kind of an extra bonus if you want to play Foretell cards, but you don't have to. But he's a great token generating commander. You can just flood your board with 1/1s. You can pump them up. They all have evasion. I built it as a really strong blink focused commander deck, and it's probably got the most interaction as far as I protect my board. I can kind of do the most judo against my opponents that are trying to do stuff back to me. So I just really enjoy Raynar. I enjoy how I play mostly from the hand in this deck. Has a lot of instants. But yeah, it's an Azorius commander that plays really to win with combat damage, and I love it, and I can never get rid of it. I guess I should say too, Vrondis was actually my first commander deck, and Raynar was my second. And the number 1 ranking for all my commander decks. Who is it? Osier Kozilom, Deepest Growth. That's right, I have talked at length about Osier Kozilom. It's a mono green, big stompy matters deck. This was the first card that I actually pulled from the first pre-release event. that I was doing the sealed event for, and instantly I knew this was a good card. It said God on it. It was a 6/5 trample with a ton of text. It turned into a land when it dies, and you can flip it back over. And I just knew this was a powerful card. And I built the deck all around combat, all about getting Osier Cosm through. And I love the randomness of looking at roughly 6 or more cards off the top of your library, getting a free land, getting a free huge creature, and just plopping them on the battlefield. You don't even cast them, you just put them onto the battlefield. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite commander, my favorite deck. If I had to get rid of all my other decks and still add this one, that would be okay. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about Osier Cosm and how much it just fits my play style, because I like combat, I like big creatures. I'm probably a bit of a Timmy, as it's known. But yeah, I think that I got the ranking pretty much right. And that is actually it for today. Thanks for hanging with me if you made it this far into the video. I know this was a bit of a long one, but yeah, I just wanted to go through all my decks, and that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, this has been the Okayest MTG content creator, Chief. And until next time, you all have a good one.